Hi, I'm Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pattern called chain link.
At first, nothing felt unusual. The video opened the way Jordan Fabrics videos always did. Calm lighting, neatly folded fabric, and Donna's steady presence guiding viewers through another beautiful quilt design. For longtime subscribers, this routine was part of their weekly rhythm. Many played her tutorials in the background like comfort noise, trusting that familiar voice to walk them through every step. But then, something shifted. Partway through the upload, the tone quietly changed when her husband, Matt Jordan, appeared on screen. There was no dramatic music, no build-up, no warning, just a direct, emotional message that instantly stopped viewers in their tracks. Donna had passed away. For many watching, the moment didn't even register at first. People rewound the video thinking they misunderstood. How could someone who seemed so present suddenly be gone? There had been no alarming headlines, no public health updates, no visible goodbye tour. One week she was teaching millions how to piece together fabric, and the next, the community was facing an unimaginable loss. What made it even more powerful was the simplicity of the announcement. It wasn't packaged for attention. It felt personal, raw, and deeply real, so the pushers call the kind of message no creator ever wants to deliver. Within hours, the quilting world was in shock. Comments flooded in from viewers saying the same thing. It felt like losing a friend. But as the disbelief slowly turned into questions, one thought kept surfacing across the internet. If Donna had been struggling, how did almost no one see it? And the answer to that begins behind the camera. The reason Donna's passing hit so hard wasn't just the loss, it was the shock. To viewers, everything had looked completely normal. She was still uploading, still teaching, still smiling behind the sewing table. There were no long disappearances, no emotional on-camera confessions, no obvious signs that something serious was happening behind the scenes. And that's exactly why the announcement felt like it came out of nowhere. In reality, it was later shared that Donna had been dealing with an illness for years, one that became far more intense in the final 3 months. But unless you were part of her inner circle, you likely never would have guessed. Donna belonged to a generation of creators who didn't turn personal hardship into content. The camera was reserved for the craft, not the struggle. Looking back, some viewers started reanalyzing her final appearances. Was her voice a little softer? Did she seem more tired than usual? Were there subtle hints everyone missed? It's human nature to search for clues after the fact, to try and make sense of something that feels senseless. But the truth is, many strong people become incredibly skilled at carrying heavy things quietly. Donna showed up for her audience with the same warmth and professionalism that built Jordan Fabrics into a trusted name. She didn't let difficulty redefine what viewers saw, and in doing so, she protected the peaceful space her channel had always been. Yet that privacy created another ripple no one could have predicted. Because when answers are limited, the internet rarely stays quiet. Once the initial shock began to settle, a clearer picture slowly emerged, though not the kind filled with dramatic revelations. According to the family, Donna had been facing a long-term illness, one she managed privately while continuing to appear on camera. Over time, that condition became more aggressive, especially in the final few months leading up to her passing on March 14, 2025. What stands out isn't just the illness itself, it's how little she allowed it to interrupt the world viewers saw. There were no emotional updates, no attempts to gain sympathy, and no shift in the steady, reassuring energy her audience depended on. Week after week, Donna remained focused on teaching, creating, and showing up with the same patience that made millions feel comfortable picking up a rotary cutter for the first time. And in today's world, where personal struggles are often shared instantly, that kind of privacy is increasingly rare. It also explains why so many people describe the news as unreal. The battle had been happening quietly, far from comment sections and algorithms. While viewers saw neatly pressed fabric and perfectly aligned seams, Donna was carrying something far heavier off-screen. What the family has not done is release detailed medical information, a choice many supporters have respected. After all, not every story is meant for public consumption, even when someone lives part of their life online. But that absence of specifics created a space the internet is famous for filling. Because when people don't have the full picture, theories tend to appear, and soon whispers started spreading that didn't quite match the facts. Almost immediately after the announcement, the internet did what it often does when emotions run high. It started trying to fill in the blanks. With no detailed medical explanation released, speculation began circulating across forums, comment sections, and quilting groups. Some posts claimed the timeline didn't add up. Others hinted at completely different causes. Within days, multiple versions of the story were floating around. But here's the critical detail many people missed. None of those claims were confirmed by the family or Jordan Fabrics. When information is limited, the human brain naturally looks for patterns. It wants closure, a clear reason, something solid to hold on to. And online, that search can quickly turn guesses into something that sounds like truth, even when it isn't. People began dissecting her last videos, analyzing her appearance frame by frame, wondering if there were hidden signs everyone overlooked. In reality, the only verified explanation remains simple. Donna had been dealing with a long-term illness that worsened in her final months. Beyond that, the family chose privacy, and that choice deserves more attention than the rumors. Because privacy, especially during something this painful, is often an act of protection, not secrecy. It draws a boundary between a creator's public work and their personal reality. Donna spent years giving her audience knowledge, creativity, and encouragement. But she never signed up to have her most vulnerable moments examined by strangers. Still, the sheer speed at which the speculation spread revealed something deeper. This wasn't just curiosity, it was the reaction of a community that cared and suddenly didn't know where to place their grief. What makes this story even heavier is the scale of what Donna built. Jordan Fabrics wasn't just another craft channel floating in the algorithm. It became one of the most trusted quilting resources online, drawing in millions of viewers who relied on Donna's calm, step-by-step teaching style. She had a rare ability to make complex patterns feel manageable. No ego, no gatekeeping, just clear instruction and genuine encouragement. For beginners, she was the reason they didn't quit after their first crooked seam. For experienced quilters, she was a source of fresh inspiration. And for many who watched quietly from home, her videos were more than tutorials. They were comfort. There's something powerful about consistency. Week after week, year after year, Donna showed up with the same steady energy. That kind of reliability builds more than a brand. It builds trust. Viewers didn't just respect her skills. They felt connected to her presence. She became part of people's routines, playing in kitchens, sewing rooms, and living rooms across the world. And that's why her loss felt personal to so many. She wasn't chasing viral moments or internet drama. She was building something lasting, a library of knowledge that will continue teaching long after she's gone. The quilts, the patterns, the tutorials, they're still there, stitched into YouTube's history. But even with that legacy secured, one question remained in everyone's mind. What happens to Jordan Fabrics now that its heart is gone? After the shock began to fade, one quiet concern started surfacing across the quilting community. Was this the end of Jordan Fabrics? For many viewers, it was hard to imagine the channel, or the business, without Donna at the center. She wasn't just the instructor people recognized. She was the warmth behind the brand, the steady presence that made millions feel welcome the moment a video began. Losing that kind of figure can shake even the strongest companies. But the family made something clear early on. Jordan Fabrics is expected to continue. That decision carries weight. It signals that what Donna built was never a one-person operation, even if she was the face most people knew. Behind the camera has always been a team, a family deeply involved in the day-to-day work of running the shop, cutting fabric, fulfilling orders, and keeping the creative engine alive. Still, continuation doesn't mean business as usual. Any future videos will feel different. The voice viewers trusted won't be guiding each stitch. The familiar rhythm will inevitably shift. And transitions like this are never easy. Not for a company, and certainly not for a community learning how to move forward while honoring someone they admired. Yet, in many ways, continuing may be the most fitting tribute possible. Because Jordan Fabrics was built on sharing knowledge, lowering barriers for beginners, and reminding people that creativity belongs to everyone. Letting that mission fade would mean letting a part of Donna's life work fade with it. Instead, every future quilt taught, every pattern released becomes part of the legacy she started. And maybe that's the real takeaway. Some people leave behind more than memories. They leave something that keeps growing. Donna Jordan's story is a quiet reminder that the people who bring comfort into our lives are often carrying battles we never see. To millions, she was more than a quilting expert. She was a steady voice, a teacher, and a familiar presence that made the world feel just a little calmer. Her passing didn't just leave a gap in a YouTube channel, it left a space in the routines of viewers who had come to rely on her warmth and guidance. Yet, in another sense, Donna never really left. Every tutorial she filmed, every technique she shared, and every quilt she inspired continues to ripple outward through sewing rooms across the world. That kind of impact doesn't fade, it multiplies. And maybe the most powerful part of her story is this: you never truly know how deeply someone's work touches others until they're gone. Donna didn't just teach quilting. She stitched herself into people's lives, and that thread isn't breaking anytime soon. No one expected a quilting tutorial to end with a goodbye. For years, Donna Jordan was the calm, reassuring face behind Jordan Fabrics, guiding millions through patterns, color choices, and creative breakthroughs. Then suddenly, everything changed. A routine upload turned into a heartbreaking announcement that left her loyal audience stunned and searching for answers. How could someone so consistent, so present, be gone without warning? And why did it feel like the truth was only partially told? Today, we're taking a closer look at what really happened to Donna Jordan, and the story behind the moment that shook the quilting world.